Quick introduction. My name is Miles. I am the director of the real estate and construction program here at Plug and Play. And I'd like to welcome everyone on behalf of myself, the organization, and Plug and Play to the final program of the 2018 Winter Summit. So today this week we've seen presentations from our insurance program, health, travel, hospitality. We started the day with mobility and then IoT, and our last program is going to be real estate and construction. So without further ado, I'm going to jump right into things. So just an overview of what to expect for the evening. I'm going to have quick opening remarks. This will probably last 6-7 minutes. We actually had to switch the order, so we will not be doing, we already did the keynote. So after me, we'll jump right into the startups. Afterwards, we'll invite two of our partners on stage for our corporate awards. And then lastly, we'll end with some closing remarks on the program. So just by a quick raise of the hands, is this the first time for anyone here in this room? If you could raise your hand if it's your first time here to Plug and Play. Otherwise, okay, so we have some newcomers here. So I'm going to give a quick overview of what Plug and Play is, what do we do, and why do we exist. In short, Plug and Play, we are the world's largest global innovation platform. And we aim to do three main things. We invest in startups. We run a number of industry-specific acceleration programs, real estate and construction being one of those, but we have 13 other programs. And on top of that, we have a global reach. So as you can see from this slide, we have offices around the world. We have a strong presence in China. We're also located in Japan. In Europe, we have a presence in Amsterdam, France, and Germany as well. Here in the United States, our headquarters are Silicon Valley, but we also have offices in Cleveland and in New York as well. And I alluded to it already, but we actually have 14 verticals here. So real estate is actually just one part of this entire ecosystem. So just to name a few other verticals that could be of interest for people in the real estate and construction world, things like travel and hospitality. If you're an asset owner and your assets are hotels or retails focused, you could be interested in travel, hospitality, possibly retail. If you're a construction company, maybe supply chain management could be interesting. You might also be thinking about health, the health of your construction workers. So the takeaway from this slide is that even though in this section we're looking at real estate and construction, we really encourage our partners to cross-pollinate across our different programs because there could be a technology that you hadn't thought about that could be applicable. So a little bit of background on today and exactly what for those people who are new, what's happening today and how did we get here? Essentially, today you can think of it as a demo day. Essentially, we're going to have about 10 startups pitching across both real estate and the construction sector. And the way we actually decided on these startups, it wasn't Plug and Play that chose them, it was our corporate partners. So as you can see on the left of the screen, all of our anchor partners, we talk with them and we figure out what are their key focus areas and challenges within their business. We then use those areas as a filter to look through over 500 startups and come up with a list of 100 startups that we show to our anchor partners. They then vote on all of those startups, and then we invite the top 30 to pitch in person, which happened just 3 months ago. Then from those 30, we have our partners vote, and we invite the top 10 that are going to be in our program, and those are the startups that you'll see pitching today. So that's some background on kind of what happened or how we got to where we are. So jumping into the real estate program, these are those focus areas that I talked about. So we got together with our partners, and over the course of a year, we looked at their deal flows, and this is a breakdown of what their focus areas were. And these will be updated again for 2019 when we start sourcing for our next batch. So as you can see, this is broken down into planning and design before the building's built. Then you have your construction phase, and then at the end, it's the asset management and smart building. So we really look at everything across the entire value chain of real estate. And this is a slide of our partners. So if you're not familiar with these logos, we work with companies ranging from developers to construction companies to asset owners, and even with the addition of Cushman & Wakefield, now real estate services companies as well. And it's really our partners that help us shape this program. So I just want to say thank you to our partners. It's been a pleasure working with them, and it's really through their efforts that we have been able to create this great program. And what you're seeing here, the partners that are highlighted here are the partners that have joined us in 2018. So we added 8 partners this year, and I'll touch on that a little bit. So real fast, I'm going to recap what happened over this past year. So for those who aren't familiar, the real estate program is one of our newer programs. We launched in March. Actually, March 8th was our first selection day of 2018. And since then, we've been able to add 8 new partners, the newest one being Cushman & Wakefield. But you can also see Kajima and Fannie Mae. I see some faces here, actually Yuji from Kajima. And then we have some ecosystem partners as well. So BI Group from Kazakhstan, they're here as well. Long4, FutureLand, APTI from Thailand. A lot of our partners in China as well. So we're very proud of these partners. And on top of the partners, we were also able to accelerate 22 startups. And you get to see the cream of the crop actually here today. I won't go into too much detail here, but this is just some of the actions that or activity our partners have been up to over this past year. So Shimizu and Takanaka, they're some of the partners who have been with us the longest. Some of the pilots that they have ongoing. So Claire, it's a familiar face. Essentially, they're looking at air quality within buildings and making recommendations on how you can improve that if it's not up to standards. And then with Shimizu, a company like Concrete Sensors, who was in our first batch. They're an IoT sensor you put inside concrete to help you understand when it's been set. 2 notable events that we had. So on the left, you see a Prologis event. We had the CEO of Prologis. Prologis is the largest owner of industrial real estate in the world. We had their CEO in for a fireside chat with Saeed. It was a great event. He was able to talk with our company about his story. And then on the right, you see the future of construction. This was an amazing event we held together with our Japanese partners. We had over 200 attendees. We had brick and mortar, a great panel with brick and mortar, McCarthy Construction, Stanford University, talking about how construction is going to start adopting technologies. And how do you close the gap between what we're seeing today and where technology needs to be, or at least where companies want it to be. And finally, what I'll end with is our global reach. So I mentioned it earlier that our headquarters, especially for the real estate program, is here in Silicon Valley, but we also have a strong presence in China. I recently returned from a trip from Beijing, where I saw the expo there, and it's pretty incredible to see the scale of the companies there and what they're doing. And it's really exciting. Wanda Group, a huge asset owner in China, they own a lot of shopping plazas. They're working with a lot of companies to save energy and predict the energy that they're going to use in the future so that they can buy it ahead of time and save money. It's pretty amazing. We recently launched our Smart Cities initiative in Paris in October, and they'll be starting their first program in February of 2019. So if you have any interest to get involved there, please feel free to reach out to me. And then lastly, we are currently doing explorations about opening an office in Germany as well. More on that to come. So in closing, Plug and Play is really here to help corporations become innovative and connect them with some of the best startups out there and help them figure out how do you actually work with these startups. Do you buy them? Do you invest? What are the steps between meeting the startup and actually getting a commercial engagement? So if you have any questions, you're just curious, please feel free to find me. My email's there. I'll be around today. And without any further ado, I'm going to invite Kia onto the stage to get the program started. So thank you very much for your time.